Next up we have Amy Sexton with Can Design Help Untangle and Solve Real-Life Problems? Amy is a curious and research-driven designer who is passionate about the circular economy, social good, and satisfying fun also. So clap your hands for Amy.
So yeah, I'm Amy, and I just recently finished off my undergrad in NCAD, and it was in product design, and my main project was Pride of Place, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. But before I went into my final year, I did an internship in the Rediscovery Centre, which is the centre of circular economy of Europe. And basically I learned there what role a designer has stepping into the uncertain future that we have. So in final year, I decided to focus on trying to encourage sustainable behaviour in council estates, and I chose them because they don't often have the opportunity to change their reputations. And I chose Dolphin House because they were the community that kind of forced the regeneration plans that were going around, and I saw an opportunity to change the behaviour while the regeneration was going around. So, and also they have one of the highest morales as a community, even though they're from a socio-disadvantaged background. So I went in, had a look around, and everything was up to scratch. So there goes my degree. But one of the things that they're looking at was waste management. So I focused there a little bit, and what I started to see was that there was a lot more bigger issues that concerned that if anything that was put in, it wasn't going to be successful because of these issues, and that actually came down to the regeneration. So with the new layout, basically it was cordoning off different blocks that had their own courtyards. There's no longer the long balcony, so that community that went for the regeneration was starting to break down. And then there was also another big issue that the communities on the council estate, council members they didn't have a good relationship. There was a lot of mistrust that had built up over decades. And this is one of the quotes that I got from one of my things, like, why should I get involved with anything they try and do if they don't listen to me? So what I found is that there was a lot of miscommunication, and it wasn't a good place. So this was a tangled issue that was within politics and emotions, so it involved a lot of sticky notes and a lot of endless nights and cups of tea. So I knew that your typical product wasn't going to suffice, so I was leaning more towards service base that created very scary looking service blueprints. But eventually that turned into my project, which is Pride of Place, which is a tidy town of Dublin, and it's an initiative to champion council estates in a friendly competition. So in the fourth season, the communities get to have a say what's in their community, and in the second season, the communities get to compete against one another to complete council goals. There's also an element of an online portal that has a social capital that includes local businesses to keep them afloat, because I think that we're seeing less and less family-owned butchers and bakeries, which I think are essential in Irish culture. So basically I had this really good idea, and I was going back to my users about it and seeing what they were thinking. But I had one issue. So when I was explaining all these different elements and how it came, how it benefited them, it ended up with my user being very drained and very kind of, okay, that's a lot of information. So I wanted to see how I could communicate this better. So I started looking at other projects that were out there that was around communicating big ideas, and I came across Le Grand Jeu that uses game mechanics to get people talking about social capital and what other value we have in life other than money. And then another project that I was looking at was testing hypotheticals, which got local citizens involved in co-creation sessions to see what they wanted in their areas in the next few decades. So with this in mind, I started to see that getting people hands-on and engaged in it was one of the ways to do it. So I think that telling stories is a very big part of Irish heritage. So I designed a role-playing game that teaches the players all the different elements of the service. And I played this with different user groups. But what I found is that this game became very essential to the service because it was just something that I was going to use as a learning tool for the elements. But what happened is that it became a communication tool for all these different people to talk about serious problems that were going on in their community. And that's the thing that I think that design can do, is that it takes this complex issue and breaks it down and just gives simple tools to help people get on their daily lives. Thank you.